You are about to meet a musician whose name you probably have never heard. He plays only for one very exclusive group. Not for money, not for fame, but to heal and offer hope. Glenn Schifano is a music therapist, one of 5,000 in the United States. He performs at Schneider Children's Hospital in Long Island, and his audiences are children with life-threatening diseases like cancer and heart disease.
It seeks to dispel some of the frustrating and suffering that goes on here. A child that really can't verbalize some of their angst, some of their pain, can really, non-verbally, through music, express some of that, which can be very healing. Good. Hello. Shake it up, Jake.
Schifano started his rounds on this day with 5-year-old Jake Brower, who less than 2 hours earlier had his 10th brain operation.
Can you shake it, Jake? Good boy. Terrific. To put the shaker in his hand and then try to get him to shake on his own, I think was very empowering for him and very empowering for the parent.
Wonderful thing to be able to put a smile on a little kid's face, especially one that's been through what he's been through.
Baby Sakura is suffering from a head injury, and Schifano is playing for both the baby and her father.
You can just imagine Dad feeling overwhelmingly anxious. They were both kind of got into this lull, and that's the hope. That's what you want to do. That's, the baby to feel that the father is calm, that the mother is calm, that there's relaxation and that there's safety and security there.
When it comes to 18-year-old Ashley Crawford, who suffers from leukemia, Schifano doesn't have to figure out what music she needs.
She was spelling it out to me. I want to learn Ode to Joy. Teach me Ode to Joy. If it was the last thing she did on this planet, this is what she wanted to do, and she did.
And that's what she was trying to do. What were you trying to do?
Give her that moment. Give her that moment.
For sick children well enough to live at home, but still in need of checkups, Glenn Schifano is the first person they meet in the hospital, even before their doctors.
Let me hear your best cats. Ready? With a meow here and a... Children come in, they sign in, and then they have to go to the finger stick room. So they get their blood drawn so the doctors can check their blood, and they go on to the treatment area. That finger stick will dictate what happens that day.
If I were a parent in that room, in that situation, I think I'd be terrified.
There's this level of anxiety there.
Fear?
Yeah, fear. And I can't even say fear of the unknown because they know what's going to happen. It's like you're waiting to get your toe stubbed.
If music therapy only makes treatment less painful and sickness more bearable, it would seem to be enough. But music therapy does more. It sometimes can save lives. Just ask Dr. Mark Atlas, who heads the hospital's transplant unit, where the survival rate for children is only 40%.
The children in transplant tend to have difficulties with high blood pressure, both from medications and from pain. Relaxation, enjoyment, good positive mental state can help to decrease blood pressure, which actually improves their outcome.
Music can sometimes improve the outcome even with the youngest of the young. Ashton Webster arrived a perilous 10 weeks early, weighing less than 1.5 pounds.
What are you trying to do here?
I'm counting his breaths and trying to play with his breathing. I like to keep my eye on the monitors to see if the breath rate is going down.
Up is bad. Down is good. The more Schifano sang, the more Ashton's mother and hospital staff could see down.
There were obvious differences. I don't know if you've noticed.
All those differences are reason for hope, says Dr. Dennis Davison, chief of the neonatal unit.
These small premature babies, while they're in their hospital stay and developing neurologically, are learning to feed better, their sucking reflex becomes better, they gain weight faster, and ultimately they're out of the hospital faster.
Music is medicine for all ages. At Beth Israel Hospital in New York City, a leading music therapy training center, nurses and aides often join in to help the elderly handle fear or depression. Schifano knows that melodies cannot forestall the finality of death. Despite all medical and musical efforts, he sees both the old and the young sometimes finally succumb.
Give me some sense of how it feels to be in the presence of a child that you know is so sick that they could go at any moment, and that the probabilities are they're going to go sooner as opposed to later.
I try not to get concerned with that. I try to stay in the here and now, try to keep the child in the here and now, and be there for the family, musically and otherwise.
Let's talk about great moments. What's the best moment you can remember?
I worked with a young lady. We really didn't think she was going to make it. Nobody did. Nobody thought she was going to make it. That's why I never listened to prognosis. I just worked with her. Every time she came in, we would write songs together.
That young lady is Victoria Sidorsky. She has cancer.
After like a year and a half of her treatment, we ended up appearing together at a fundraiser for her, where she stood up and sang her own song. The fact that music had carried her not only through cancer, but out of her shyness and out of her shell that she had been in even before she had gotten sick. So it was this transformation, not only through death, but a new life.
That must have made you feel terrific.
It's why you keep doing it. If nobody got better, and if everybody died, it makes the losses a little easier.